Hi guys, welcome back. So it's that time again when I run the rule over the England team as an England fan and rate them in their last game, this time against Ireland. I'm going to score them out of 10 this time just because I feel like it. I kind of mix up the scoring just to keep it fresh. And if you haven't entered the giveaway for the free artwork, like behind me, please do click the link below. You can send in any rugby picture you want, and the artist Blair Skivington will turn it into an awesome piece of artwork like behind me, completely free. So subscribe, click on that link, that would be cool. So let's get into this game. What did we learn about these players? How did they rate? I'll start from the back. Freddie Stewart. Now, Freddie Stewart has improved his attacking game, definitely. He's adding a bit more edge in attack, I like that. But we just saw in this game once again, when he's isolated one-on-one, it's a bit like turning an oil tanker. He just is not that agile. It's always tricky as the last line of defence. When you're one-on-one, you're on the back foot, so you need to be really quick of foot. But Freddie Stewart just isn't. It caught out again, stepped quite badly a few times. So it has to be a 3, I think, for Stewart. Although I appreciate he's working hard on stuff, but that's just how it is. He's not particularly good one-on-one. Anthony Watson, I saw signs of Watson coming back to near his best, some good footwork, some good pace, but the team wasn't really putting him in any space. He was having to make it for himself. He did okay, so I think I'll give it a 5. Hopefully he'll build and get a bit better, but signs maybe of some actual beating of players from Watson. And Marchant and Tuolangi as a pairing was okay, I think. They worked pretty hard. Marchant tried to shoot up again and catch some players in that outside defensive channel. Did okay. Tuolangi smashed up pretty hard, but again on the chase, I was watching him on the chase. Looks pretty leaden-footed. Isn't quite as athletic and agile as he used to be. So again, it has to be 5s, I think, for those two. Daly, well, I've given him a 3 because he missed a couple of really poor tackles. He made some good ones to start with. I thought, okay, here we go. Then a couple of really weak ones after that. So I'm giving him a 3. He was struggling to get away from players. He's not quite as quick as he used to be. So I'm just struggling to see him, being like a world-class player, beating players in those big games. He's got some decent skills, but I'm giving him a 3 for those bad missed tackles, actually. George Ford, he tried, he zipped the ball around. He's a great passer of the ball, but his kicking wasn't particularly decent, and he just hasn't got the pace for the break himself anymore. So it's a 4 for him. I appreciate the effort, but I just don't think his game's quite there, hasn't quite got it athletically. Ben Youngs, it's a 3. I mean, yes, he's playing in a side that wasn't really going anywhere, but his box kicks weren't particularly good, which is kind of his thing. He was very slow to the ruck was slow anyway, so it's a 3. It was just really, really painful to watch. Into the forwards, I'm going to give Ellis Genge a 6. I thought he was pretty good. He was one of those forwards that actually added zip to the game, was really nasty in the carry, as he does, okay in the scrum, dogged it out if you like. I think he was one of England's better players. Jamie George, another solid effort, doing what he can. Good line-out from England again. England's line-out has been their strongest point by a long way. He's just not particularly athletic around the pitch compared to most other hookers, so 5. Will Stewart, I thought it was a painful afternoon for Stewart. I thought he struggled in the scrum. Around the park, he was very slow. He was caught badly when Omani made the break for the first try for Aki. Just looks out of his depth, to be honest. Very slow. So a 2 there, I'm afraid. Atoje, yeah, it was a hard work, I guess, but he just looked a bit off the pace every time compared to Byrne and Ryan of the other team. He just doesn't look quite himself. He's not that athletic monster he used to be, so it's a 4. Ribbons, I thought, worked really hard, went through a load of tackles, did pretty well, to be honest, good in the maul, a 5. Laws, just a little slow again, a bit like a Toje, just a little off the pace. Did find himself in space a few times, but couldn't really do much with it. Isn't going to be beating players, but he's a good player. He's a big player. He's good in the tight. He's trying to get turnovers. He's good in the line out, but it is a 5, I think. Earl tried, made some bursts, but couldn't make those big breaks that he did in the last game against Wales. But I still think he was one of the more lively players, at least so 6. Now on to the last of the starters, Billy Vunipola. I'm giving him a 1. Maybe it should have been a 0. I didn't see much impact in the carry. He dropped a ball cold. And then I was watching him in defence and he was just very slow getting in defence. He's just really, really slow and cumbersome. And in the build-up to that red card, he was slow getting in position. And in the red card, he stood upright, which lots of players do. I don't know why they're being taught that, to be honest. And he gets his arm tucked in, doesn't wrap his arm, goes with the shoulder. It's going to go to the head if you stand upright and you go with the shoulder. Even if you catch it to the chest, it's still a no-arms tackle. So pretty awful. Plus there was some petulance in there as well, laughing, gobbing off at the ref. Childish stuff. Really didn't like it. Pretty pathetic. It's a 1 for sure. Then maybe one of the bright sparks. Later in the game when the subs came on, England did actually start to play with some pace and ambition. Don't know why they don't start to do it at the beginning, but I guess I do know that's what Borthwick tells them to. But Sinclair came on, really added pace, scored his try. It was good, actually. Good impact from Sinclair. Chesham back on the pitch, looked fairly decent. Definitely good to see him back from injury. England need him badly. The game speeded up when Kerr was on at 9 for sure. Lawrence made some decent bursts, looked like he was beating players. So good impact from the subs, but the damage was done. Those are my ratings. Love to know what you would do for your ratings and why. All those comments below, and I'll catch you next time.